Yo, what's going on, my fellow wrestling fans? Welcome to a SummerSlam week edition of what we like to call the Clash of the Champions, where we talk about the different storylines, controversies, and personalities that center around this world we know and love as professional wrestling. I'm your host, the vegan you believe in, Conscious Kurt, aka the Professor in the Flesh, as always. And my co host needs no introduction, but fuck it, he's going to give y'all one anyway.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is his tag team partner, Jonathan Randall, at your guys' service, the Mr. Life of the Party, the adventurer here and now. And ladies and gentlemen, this is our special episode that we always do every month. It is our prediction show for PLE, and this time it is for SummerSlam coming up this Saturday, April 3rd, Cleveland,
April, what
Ohio,
the fuck? April.
7 p.m. No, sorry, August. In the moment, August, my bad. August 3rd, Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, in Cleveland, Ohio. You can watch it live on Peacock, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait. Kurt, let's
Yes, and we have a
go.
special guest with you guys today to talk about SummerSlam and also some of our favorite SummerSlam moments over these years. And that special guest today has been a guest on the show before. He is one DJ 47. DJ 47, what is the deal, my dude?
What up, my dude? It's a pleasure to be here. Had so much fun last time. Hopefully, I can stay throughout the whole show this time. Mr. KDPG. Let's go.
Yes, and this is one of my favorite weeks of the whole year for wrestling. SummerSlam is my show. Other than WrestleMania, it is my favorite show of the entire year. People talk about the Royal Rumble being like the second to WrestleMania, and I get it, but for me, it will always be SummerSlam. Ever since I was a kid, SummerSlam was always that show I looked forward to. It always signified the end of the summer before school would start. But damn, I would always have fun watching it.
Mm.
And this year is no different. And according to CM Punk, who was on First Take yesterday, this SummerSlam card for this year could be better than WrestleMania.
He has a good point, and I agree with him. It's funny how big this event is because you look back in our history, there has been a good handful of SummerSlams where it was better than WrestleMania that year, and he could
And
potentially be right. I even tweeted this about a few weeks ago about how this year's SummerSlam with this card, the build-ups and the matches that they have on a card, it could potentially be one of the best SummerSlams in the history of this company. Along, with 2000, 2002, 1992, it has that potential, and I can't
Or,
wait
or,
for it.
or CM Punk just saying that because he's on the card this year.
you know what's funny? You know what's funny? This year
Out of
is going to be CM Punk's
What's up?
first SummerSlam match since the match with Brock in 2013.
Oh, yeah?
11 years, son.
crazy, yeah,
And that was probably the
yeah.
best
How,
match
how
that
you,
whole year, and probably one of my favorite SummerSlam matches ever. Top five.
yeah, CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, they have good matches. Like, look at it here, right here. This storyline with him and CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. This has got me on the edge of my seat. And adding Seth Rollins to it, I'm hooked. I'm
Ooh, it's been
hooked.
great.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to fly to Cleveland just for it.
What's funny that you say that about how good the feud is because I said this, I tweeted this morning on our Twitter page, ladies and gentlemen. It's at the Champs Clash on Twitter. You could follow us. But anyway, I tweeted this morning how important and how good this feud is because for the first time, we have a feud where the title is not the topic, is not the centerpiece. And usually, the past several years, most of the good feuds has always been about a championship. I don't recall, I don't know, help me out, Kurt. I don't ever recall where I've seen a feud where it was that personal, where the title was not the
I would
focal
say
point.
maybe the John Cena and AJ Styles feud before AJ got the title. That was a really good feud up until that point. I don't know if I could say it's personal the way this one is, but one thing I will say, I think
Yeah,
I definitely can testify to this. The CM
yeah.
Punk and Drew McIntyre match at SummerSlam this weekend is the real main event.
Yep,
So
I definitely
no
agree.
disrespect to Cody and Solo Sokoa, but this is the
I
same
agree. And
scenario with 1990 where Hogan and Earthquake was the real main event, and also 94 where Brett and Owen was the real main event. This year, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, even though it's probably not going to be the main event, it is the main event.
It is. I definitely agree with that.
And this is what I love about this card coming up on Saturday, because it's like there's so much writing on each match. It's like all these matches you're looking forward to. There's 7 matches on the card, ladies and gentlemen, and like each one is like
Rumor
I'm
has
looking
it.
forward to it.
Rumor has it that some Solo was supposed to be The Rock for SummerSlam. SummerSlam versus Cody. The Rock and Cody, but The Rock got injured doing on a movie set. That's the
Oh,
rumor I heard.
that's interesting. I always heard it was going to be not until WrestleMania next year, but it's possible.
Hmm.
But it's so funny that Rikishi is mad at the fact that Jey Uso's not on the card at SummerSlam this year, but his other son is in the damn main event in a title match.
I said I said that as
He
well,
didn't mention that.
but you know what? It's still his son. He still
I
got love
get
for
it.
his
I
son.
get
He
it.
sees that his son is doing big things. And you heard what he said. He's also like, you put him in the storyline. Like, what are you trying to do? Fuck up his marriage? It's like, So I get what he's saying. That he's doing something. It's not like Jey Uso is not a big success right now. The people are loving him. But again, yeah, I'm sure he's happy about his other son in the main event. But that doesn't mean he's gonna love his the one son less. He's fighting for all his kids.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree. I mean, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because like me and Kurt were talking about that a couple weeks ago on our episode, and you know, I feel what Rikishi's feeling, and at the same time, I feel bad for Jay, because it's kind of like, I don't know, man. Like it's just how the way it is weird how you had a one of the marquee matches on WrestleMania. You have the potential as a solo single superstar, and he still does. And you really thought that, okay, they're going to push him forward this year. They really haven't.
And it's even
I think the issue is with Jey Uso is that he has not become a solo champion yet. He's not
and
the
you know what's
Intercontinental
funny? He
champion.
was in the main event of SummerSlam last year, and now he's not even on the
Oh, that's
show.
right. That's right.
Yeah, this is a bigger fall from
Right.
grace from SummerSlam since Lex Luger from '93 to '94. I'm just
Good
playing. It's
God.
not that bad. It's not that
I,
bad.
yeah. I was about to say it ain't that bad.
Jey
Like
Uso
Lex
still
Luger
has
was
hope.
supposed to be
Jey
a
Uso still
champion.
has hope.
Still, we got with less than 7 days.
I see him more of an intercontinental champion than a world champion. But hey, other things happen.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Do that first. That's what I wanted. Those are my expectations for this year for him going into this year. Is that okay? I want him to become Intercontinental Champion, and I predicted that whatever the outcome is between Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn, after that, put Jey Uso in that hunt for that title.
You think
It could happen, but
you think Jey Uso will be like Sami Zayn, where Sami Zayn defeated Gunther at WrestleMania, and Braun Breaker wins the title. He becomes destroyable like Gunther, and it was Jey Uso who takes the title off Braun Breaker. Same story.
I would love to see that.
it could.
Yes, I would love to see
Yeah,
that. That would
probably
be
not until
great.
WrestleMania because I think for the next few months, Jey Uso's probably going to be occupied with the Bloodline story. I think he's probably going to be like rejoining with Roman and also his brother. I
Yeah.
think that's probably going to occupy his time. Maybe even Sami Zayn might get put into that too because more than likely, I think I know what's happening with him
Yeah.
this weekend. So with that being said, let's get into our predictions for SummerSlam this coming Saturday from Cleveland, Ohio, the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I like how they've implemented the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame theme into the whole like graphics for it. It's mad dope.
I noticed that. I noticed that too. I like that, and I kind of seem like a music festival little vibe in their graphics too. I love that too because it is the biggest party of the summer.
Yeah, and
So
also
I like
funny
it.
to say, this is the very first SummerSlam that will take place in Cleveland since 1996.
Yeah.
We remember those times of WWE very well.
What was the main event? What was the
Shawn
96
Michaels versus Vader for
Shawn
the
Michaels versus Vader.
for the world
right
title?
around the time Vader was on Boy Meets World. I was watching that episode last week, actually. Yeah, that was right after the Hogan had just won the NWO. When Austin did the Austin 316 speech, the summer that it was written, and also Reasonable Doubt came out. Yeah, that was a popping ass summer, son.
Yeah, yes, it was music.
And also, that event is also remembered. That SummerSlam is also remembered for the boiler room brawl between
The
Undertaker and
SummerSlam
Mankind.
where Vader messes up and Shawn Michaels gets pissed off.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's the
Also, the
one.
one when Paul Bear turns on the Undertaker. That was a huge shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy, son. There was some interesting moments here and there, but overall, like it wasn't really a strong time for them. But it's definitely a strong time for them now in 2024. I said it before. This is the most I've ever liked wrestling in probably 20 years at least. And this SummerSlam is one reason why I cannot fucking wait. So let's break down this card real fast. So for the Intercontinental title, we do have Sami Zayn defending once again against Braun Breaker. And funny enough, Sami Zayn's first ever SummerSlam match.
Oh wow. Did not know that.
Crazy. Yeah, we didn't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think we all know the writing in the wall. I think he held the title. He did what he did, but it's Braun Breaker time. No one's gonna. That's the future. Braun Breaker's the future.
Preach. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. It's spoken. I've said the same thing. Okay. Look, I was pretty upset about what happened at Money in the Bank, but look, I think how the way it ended, you get pinned like that. Maybe like it should have ended in a different way, but it doesn't matter though. It made Braun Breaker stronger. You're right. He is the future. He's become a very lethal, dangerous man ever since he's been on the main roster, and I love it. He's your future. Braun Breaker will win the Intercontinental Championship this time. No offense to Sami Zayn, he has held it well. He had his moment at WrestleMania earlier this year, but it is now time for Braun Breaker.
And funny enough, this will be something that Braun Breaker's dad and his uncle never accomplished in WWE.
I see. I see
Became
Braun
a solo
Breaker
champion.
as the new Brock Lesnar. How Brock Lesnar came in.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hmm.
yes.
Hmm. Well, I kind of see that too. I like that
Yeah, this
comparison.
dude's been
Yeah,
on
you're
a
right.
tear. He has crazy momentum right now. And he lost nothing when he lost to Sami Zayn last month. I even said that after that show. So I feel like now is the time for him to be elevated to that next level, and it's going to happen. Sammy had a great title reign. I feel like he kept that lineage going even after Gunther held it for so long. But it's time for him to move on, and it's time for Braun Breaker to be crowned new
What, do
IC
you-
champ.
what do you think, Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar in the future?
If Brock ever comes back,
Well, there's room. There's room. Well,
Yeah,
there's
I mean, if he
rumors
ever
that
comes back, I mean,
it's
I'll
in
love to see
talks.
it.
Triple H is trying to make that happen. There's rumors
well,
again. I don't know if you heard it and I heard it that Paul Heyman's supposed to bring him back.
it could
Story dies.
happen. It could happen.
Possible. I would love to see it. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's
I'm looking
possible. We
forward
got
to
to wait
this
and
match. I
see.
think it's going to probably open the show. And I'm hoping that it's a classic because that's what SummerSlam was mainly known for in those early years was those classic Intercontinental title matches. And I hope we could put that one in the category after it's all over.
I agree.
But Braun Breaker's gonna whoop that ass and he's taking that title. It's a wrap.
I think
Yes.
they're put together to work together because Sami Zayn's so experienced. He's there to teach him. That's my
Exactly.
behind the
Exactly.
scenes. Yeah.
All right, but let's move on to our next match for the United States title. We have the douchebag fuck Logan Paul defending his title for only the third time in less than 1 year against the superstar, the
Good
megastar,
God.
LA Knight. Yeah.
I'll give it to LA
Yeah.
Knight. I think he's taking the title.
Ooh.
I I agree too, man. Look, I get why they put the title on Logan Paul. Just for you know advertisement and all that stuff. I get that, but damn it, this is your third time defending the title, and how long?
November.
How long he's had
November.
a title
November.
since? Kurt, damn that right, and it's your third time defending it. This ends now. You have a rising up and coming superstar on SmackDown, right? Opposite of Jey Uso. Use it. Take advantage of it. Make this guy a solo champion, man. This is going to be great for LA Knight. I am picking LA Knight to win it. If he doesn't win it, I mean, maybe they could
That's
extend the
that's what
feud,
that's what
maybe. But you need to
that's
make LA
exactly
Knight a
what
solo champion. And I think this is the right place
That's
and the right
exactly what I
time
was
to
going
do
to
it.
say. Either he doesn't win it on Saturday, but he wins it against Logan Paul. I think this is a title they're going to give him. There's too many big superstars right now in wrestling in a long time. So it's like, LA Knight, should he be world champion? Yeah, but there's so much people going on. They said might as well give him a title, and U.S. title, Intercontinental title is just as good.
Well, you guys are not going to like my prediction, but I'm going to give it to y'all anyway. I think the douchebag fuck Logan Paul is going to be up to some of his shenanigans. Maybe have like I show speed or I don't need or whatever the fuck his little like crew of people is around to help him cheat and whatever it is. And somehow he's going to retain. And LA Knight will win the US title from Logan Paul, but not until Bash at Berlin at the end of August.
I think you hated that more than us. You call him what, a douchebag? What?
I mean, do you ever see how the dude behaves? Do
Hey,
you ever see how he acts?
hey, personally, I like him. I'm a fan of his.
Ew.
I don't know.
Ew.
Maybe I'm a douchebag myself, but I mean, he brings value to the company. He's a good
No, he
promo. He's
does.
not
No,
bad
he
in the
does.
ring. No, so
But you just don't. I just don't
and
like
if you
him.
hate him,
Yeah, he needs a good
and if
heel.
you hate him so bad, then he's doing his job right because he's a heel. He's not a
Exactly.
face.
That's how I feel about Mercedes Moné right now. That's the point I've gotten
That's
to.
that's a different story. I mean, I wasn't feeling her in WWE.
Yeah, just kind of a nickname I came up with him on the show, and it kind of just stuck. So I've been calling him that ever since.
Yeah, and you say you don't like Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette has
He
a
has
bunch of
his
nicknames for a
moments.
bunch of
He has
wrestlers.
his moments.
You're the Jim Cornette of this podcast.
I am not. Well, maybe I am. Okay, fair enough. I'll take
I
it.
agree.
I'll take it.
I think the only difference is that Kurt doesn't wear like
Like,
silly
yeah,
like outfits like
like the
like
WrestleMania 10 outfit.
right.
All right, but I do think that Logan Paul is going to find a way to retain, and then they're going to stretch this out to Bash at Berlin, kind of circa how Edge and Christian retained at SummerSlam 2000, but then they lost titles to the Hardys the next month at Unforgiven. For the WWE Women's Championship, we have Bayley, according to Nia Jax, BBL Bayley, whichever you prefer to call her, defending her title against Nia Jax.
That is all natural on Bayley, like I said before. But anyway, it's a different story. But anyway, so man, there's so much that could happen in this match. And I love Bayley, but I think Nia Jax is gonna win. But this is what's definitely gonna happen, regardless of what this outcome is in this match. You gotta remember, Tiffany Stratton is the current holder of the women's Money in the Bank briefcase. She will cash it in on Saturday.
I agree.
She will win the women's title.
I agree, but I think it's on Bayley. I think Bayley wins and she catches on Bayley. I love Bayley, but I don't think this title run hasn't been the best as previous title runs that she had.
Yeah, not like her last one.
That's funny. Me and Kurt were just talking about that last week.
I don't know. A lot of these champions has not. It's like kind of like Kofi Kingston. I love the fact he won the title, but his run was, And a lot of them. As we get closer, I'll even get deeper into other champions that we probably all talk about too.
I think Nia Jax is going to win the title, and I don't think Tiffany Stratton cashes it on her yet. I think Nia Jax is going to win the title and have the title for a while. I think Nia Jax is going to win, and she's going to keep it for a little bit.
I agree with that.
Okay.
If Nia Jax wins, I agree. She won't cash in on Nia Jax that night.
I think
Bayley wins. I think she cashes on Bayley.
I think Nia Jax has done enough good work since she's come back for this run, where I don't mind her getting the title and having a bit of a run with it.
Because her cousin's running the show?
No, not even that. She just has had quality matches since she came back. The matches with Becky, the match with Rhea Ripley, the Queen of the Rings tournament stuff she was doing. Yeah, she's had a good run since she's came back, and I feel like a title reign is justified if she does get it.
I do love the fact that they gave her Yokozuna's finish. I think
it's been great. Even Bianca Belair said she peed herself when Nia Jax gave it to her in the Queen of the Ring match they had. That was her words when she was on that Spicy Wing show with Jade Cargill. I don't know what the hell that name of that show is, but yeah, they were on that show when she told that story. So I think we all agree that Bayley is not walking out of SummerSlam with that championship, which is going to bum me out a little bit, but admittedly, so her
No.
title reign has not really been one of her strongest ones.
And look, it's because like they don't have like a lineup or they didn't really put her like in good feuds until now, man. Because like prior to that, they were just like throwing random people at her to defend the title. So I said this last week. If Charlotte Flair was not hurt, oh, she would have had did a storyline.
And
with
that's the
Bayley.
thing I'm thinking.
Shaw, I can't wait for her return.
And that's the thing I'm thinking with Charlotte. When Charlotte comes
I,
back, like I feel like if she does come back, maybe she'll feud with Nia Jax, since Nia Jax will be champion possibly.
I think because Bayley proved that she's so much good as a heel. Now she has to play all happy, I love you guys type of thing, but she killed it as a heel.
Yeah, especially in that 2020 period. Yeah, she was great. Like I know she had Sasha to play off of, but yo, she really did her thing. And I didn't really know if she could.
Hold on, I think Sasha had Bayley to play
Nah,
off.
Sasha just has
Not
more.
the other way
Sasha
around.
has more of that obnoxiousness to her, and I feel like that rubbed off on Bayley during that run.
Oh, okay, I give you that.
Yeah, like Sasha just as a character, I don't know her as a person, but I could just tell as a character she's just naturally unlikable. But I don't get that same vibe from Bayley. I feel like Bayley had to kind of grow into that.
Yeah, I agree.
It is what it is.
But also the other thing is, Bayley is a student of the game. Like she is a wrestler through thick and thin. She wanted it since she was a kid. She studies the game. You can also remember that.
Definitely. So did Sasha too. You got to give her that. Or Mercedes.
Yeah, I do.
Mercedes.
I just,
I keep forgetting she has a new name.
Mercedes, Sasha, whatever. But I get what you're saying. I feel what you're saying.
I gotta give her credit though. I did like the Poison Ivy and Bane look her and Camille had at the Comic-Con last week.
Yeah, I saw a little snippet of that. I didn't really watch the whole thing.
Yeah, it's official for All In, which is also a good card, but we'll get into that some other time. But let's get on to the real major matches happening this Saturday at SummerSlam. For the Women's World title, I can't fucking wait for this one. We have Liv Morgan defending the title against the return of mommy herself, Rhea Ripley. Holy shit, son, it's going down. It's going down.
Oh my
It's going
God.
down, son.
Dude.
It's going down, son.
Who wants to start? I got
immortal
Charlie,
words.
I got my prediction. Now, my prediction is the whole story. And if you want to hear it, I'll break it down. Mommy loses, Rhea Ripley loses, because Don screws her over.
Yep.
I said the same damn thing. I said the same thing. And it's gonna and to do that to extend the feud. Like it's so crazy how this whole scenario turned out, right? And I love the build up and oh my god, it's been phenomenal.
Yo, this
right?
is kind of like this is kind of the opposite of SummerSlam 2000, where it was two dudes fighting over a girl with the Triple H Angle and Stephanie's storyline. Now it's two girls fighting over a guy. It's kind of like the same scenario.
Yeah.
Backward, but in reverse.
This is Liv's best work she's been doing.
Oh hell yeah, no questions asked.
I'm a fan of Liv, but right now she is killing it. To take the title off her now, nah, mommy doesn't need the title. Rhea Ripley doesn't need the title. Even though we want her to have the title, she doesn't need it right now. Liv is doing her thing right now.
Yes, I think Liv does retain, and either Dominic accidentally cost Rhea the match, or he purposely cost Rhea the match, and then him and Liv are going to be together.
Purpose.
Yeah.
He's going to do it on purpose.
Kind of like how Trish turned on Jericho to join with Christian. Now Dominic could turn on Rhea and join with Liv.
It's funny. Purposely. I saw the little whole thing where Dom makes her cry, and when she's on the stand and she cries and walks away like 2 weeks ago, and I'm watching it with my girl. My girl's like, I thought you said he was gonna go with her and leave her. I said, baby girl, SummerSlam is next Saturday. Just listen to what I said. I've been in this business long enough, and I've been watching wrestling long enough. You gotta love the story.
And funny enough, that's how the Triple H Angle and Stephanie feud was supposed to end. Stephanie was supposed to leave Triple H and join Angle, but Triple H nixed it.
He's like, hell nah, you ain't going the next. He goes, that's how I got you in the first place. You think I'm gonna set you up for the next dude?
Oh shit. Anyway, but yeah,
Remember, that's what he did. Remember Triple H pitched the storyline that he goes with Stephanie, get married, all this and this and that. Next you know, now they're hooking up in real life. Yeah.
madness. But yeah, this whole storyline's been madness. It's been one of the best things on WWE since WrestleMania, and I can't wait for it to blow up on Saturday. It's definitely going to be a big deal. I probably never looked forward more to a women's match at SummerSlam than I'm looking forward to this one. Nothing I can think of.
What about the Steph?
Yeah.
What about Brie Bella
it's-
versus Stephanie?
I was amped up for that one too. Actually, another one that comes close, even though we didn't get it, was the Sasha and Bianca match from 2021. I'm still bummed we didn't get that match.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah.
Because Sasha got injured, right?
I don't know what it was. Like, she's never like openly said what happened, but yeah, for whatever reason, she was not on that show. But we are getting this match, and the story going into it has been fucking incredible, and I can't wait to see how it pays off Saturday. But I feel like Liv Morgan, yes, does have a lot of momentum right now, and I feel like a longer title reign would benefit her, and I think it's going to happen. She will find a way to retain. And this will be a hell of a lot better than her match with Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. I mean, I'm a fan of Ronda Rousey, but her second turn, it was horrible. You knew she didn't want to be there. My skills was horrible. I mean, I thought she brought her name recognition to the company is great, but second time around, she didn't want to be there. So get the fuck out. If you don't want to be here, get the fuck out. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, and also, yeah, that's the match. That was her last match. Was at SummerSlam last year. That match against Shayna Baszler. Oh man, yeah, that did not go well.
Yeah, that was a horrible match.
But yes, I think we all agree that Liv will retain. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that match. But let's move on to the match for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have Damian Priest defending the title against the King of the Ring for 2024, Gunther.
This was a surprise because at first, we went into it kind of like, whatever about it, but the build has been pretty solid, and they've been getting physical with each other over the past couple of weeks, and that's why I like it. You know what? I think Gunther wins. Finn Balor costs Damian Priest the match.
Yeah, me too. I agree. I don't know, but my thing is, does Gunther really need the title now? I mean, I guess.
They gave him King of the Ring.
But here's my thing. This is what I'll say. One of the King of the Ring or the Queen of the Ring is going to win the title. If your prediction is right about Nia, Gunther doesn't win. If Nia doesn't win, Gunther wins. Because I know they're not going to have one of the King of the Ring winners lose. Damian Priest, even though they've been saying it now, I've been saying it from a long time. I love Damian Priest, but he has not shown me he's a champion. He doesn't even show me this time around as a title. He doesn't show me that he's a star. He just coming all casual, talking all casual and everything like that. It's like he's someone I would hang out with, but I don't see as a champion. Not this Monday, but the previous Monday when he didn't talk and he just fought. That's when I was like, about damn time you show me you're a damn champion and all. But other than that, he's been flopping. Like he's been the cool guy you want to hang out with.
But okay, so what about match quality wise? Because let's go back to his match against Drew McIntyre at Clash of the Castle. Out of all his title defenses, to me, that was his best, championship match that he has, since he's been champion.
I don't know. I thought it was sloppy. I thought you could see them calling it out. You could see them look like a deer in the headlights at times. It was sloppy to me. I think Drew was the only one that was holding it up. But Damian Priest, I don't know. Since he become champion, he acts like he a rookie. Like he hasn't been here before. I thought his match with Bad Bunny was 10 times better than his match with any title reign.
Well, maybe he'll prove us wrong Saturday. Maybe he'll prove you wrong on Saturday.
Hey, please.
I believe this match will be very good and decent.
Yeah, because you have Gunther in the match. And I agree with that. And let me tell you something. Please prove me wrong, because I am a big fan of Damian Priest. He does have what it takes. I just don't know why he's coming out here like, hey guys, how you like when the whole Seth Rollins thing, when Seth Rollins lost the match and shit at Money in the Bank. The next night at Raw, he's like, oh, you know what? We could scratch the deal, and I'll give you another title run. Like, what? No, you made a stipulation. Earn up to the thing. I don't need your buddy thing, man. That's just my opinion on Damian Priest right now. Just be a heel or be a face, but stop being the nice guy.
Well, I feel like he's been on the verge of turning babyface for the last like few months, and it looks like Rhea's pretty much turning babyface too.
Oh, he is already. Yeah, they're
So
already baby
I
faces.
I,
That's
I,
why
I
they're gonna
feel like
get screwed over.
I feel like Rhea's about to get maybe X'd out of Judgment Day, and also in this case, Damian Priest is going to get X'd out of Judgment Day, and that's going to happen by Finn Balor in some way, costing him the championship, and that will allow Gunther to become the world champion. I think it happens Saturday.
Yeah, then Finn Balor becomes the leader of Judgment Day, and Rhea Ripley and Damien get kicked out, and they're buddies, and they're saying, "Hey, we never had a leader. You guys came in here acting like you're a leader. You're the leader." That's gonna be the whole storyline. And then what happens is Gunner can move on instead of Priest going back after the title. Priest storylines goes to him going one on one
Finn
with
Balor, yeah, I
Finn
think it
Balor,
goes in that direction.
and that story along, you know.
Yeah,
I think that's the right move to do, to have Finn Balor cost him the match, because, like, you look back over the past, like, it looks like it's been forever where Damian Priest and Finn Balor have been like button heads with each other for a while.
Yeah, from the very beginning.
So yeah. So it's like, when is that blow off going to happen? I think that blow off is going to finally happen.
and I feel like Gunther
Saturday.
losing the Intercontinental title was probably a sign that he was like going to move on to bigger and better things, and it's feeling like now it's time that it's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
And this will be the first time since 2002 that the winner of the King of the Ring will win the title at SummerSlam.
Yeah, just real quick, Kurt. Like, it's funny that you mentioned about how, when Gunther lost the Intercontinental title, how that was like a sign of bigger things to come, because that reminds me, 20 years ago, Orton lost the IC title, and then a month later, you're moving on to bigger things to become the world champion. So
Yeah, but I feel like this
I
case will be a
was
lot
gonna
more
ask you
successful
guys.
because that felt rushed. That Orton one felt rushed. As shocking as it was, it felt very, very like out of nowhere.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
especially for
but
the build that match had. Like when I found out that Orton won, I'm like, what the fuck? Randy Orton won the title? The fuck? We're gonna talk about that moment later in our SummerSlam memories. We're gonna talk about that moment.
oh my god, I cannot believe it's gonna be 20
And who did
years
Orton beat?
in a month. Chris
Oh, I didn't
Benoit.
know. Okay, I just want to see if you guys
Man,
gonna
I
mention
can't believe
his
it's about
name
to
on
be
your
20 years.
podcast.
Look, we don't fuck with what he did. Obviously, what he did at the last weekend of his life was unforgivable. We're not going to ignore the fact that he had classic matches. It was a part of classic moments. There still is a
Yeah.
wrestling
Okay.
show, and he was part of many classic wrestling moments. So we're not just going to ignore that.
I agree. What the question I was gonna ask is, like, how do you guys feel about a person having multiple titles?
Yeah, depends.
Like, two, like what,
Yeah,
like two?
if Gunther
okay,
kept
like,
the Intercontinental title and then still won the world title.
No,
Like,
I
how do you
wouldn't have
feel
liked
about
that. I wouldn't have not have liked that scenario. No.
Yeah.
the only way, if I'm okay with that scenario, if they did like a title versus title scenario, like that's what I'm okay with. Like, for example, like, Seth Rollins versus John Cena from SummerSlam 2015, where both the title and the US title was up for grabs.
Yeah.
So that's different. But like Kurt was saying, like, yeah, if he's gonna hold on to the title just
Yeah,
to win the
like
world title, I was like, no, that doesn't
I
make any
remember back in the
sense.
day when like
No.
Kurt Angle was like the Euro
Yeah.
Continental Champion and that kind of jazz. Something like that is cool for maybe like a month or so, but something like dragged out for a long time, I'm not cool with that part of it. Okay, so yes, we have Gunther winning the world title. I don't mind it at all. He's been a big douchebag in his promos the last few months, very Fox News like, and I feel like it works for him. It's making me like kind of want to see him get his ass beat, but I think he's gonna win regardless. He should bring out Sean Hannity and like the Fox News people to be in his corner, get him a lot of heat. All right, but anyway, let's move on to our main events. In the real main event of SummerSlam, we have CM Punk against Drew McIntyre. Finally, but with a special guest referee added to the match, and that special guest referee is Mr. Wacky Ass Outfits himself, Seth Rollins.
I can't get over that outfit
6
you
months in the
wore this
making,
past
bro.
Monday.
It's finally gonna happen. It is finally gonna happen. Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
Finally, thank God. And I'm already saying that this is the feud of the year. Like I said earlier in our show, I love the fact how there's a feud, an intense personal feud where the title is not your focal point, and I love it. And to me, those are your best feuds in professional wrestling. When you have a feud where
Like
it's
Shawn
not about
Michaels
the
and
title,
Jericho from
I
'08.
love
Well,
that.
before they added the title to it.
You have a special guest referee, yeah, hell's gonna break loose. And I tweeted this the other day too. Yes, Seth Rollins is law and order, but the biggest question is, will he be fair and impartial? So I think Punk is gonna, you know, he's gonna provoke Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is probably gonna accidentally hit Drew McIntyre or something like that, and then Seth Rollins has no choice to make the pinfall, and CM Punk wins.
Ooh.
You say CM Punk wins?
It could be that, or what I said could be the same thing, but the opposite, where Seth Rollins accidentally hits somebody that costs that person the match. I know that for a fact that's going to happen.
I see Drew winning. I see what you're saying, but Drew wins, and because remember we want the feud between Seth Rollins and Punk. I mean, do we want it
I
now?
think that will wait till next year. I predicted that this feud will continue, and I even predicted that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre will have a Hell in a
Which
Cell
is almost
match
sold
at
out, by
Bad
the
Blood.
way.
Yeah,
You're right. Maybe it's too soon for CM Punk and Rollins to go at it for WrestleMania. I still think Drew wins somehow, but I see maybe the feud continue, like you said, Bad Blood, where it leads to also Seth Rollins and maybe Drew beefing with each other, which then could lead up to the whole CM Punk something like that. I think they all have an animosity towards each other, and Rollins and Drew still has a little beef to get to.
I feel like Rollins and Drew's already been done. That was done multiple times at the beginning of the year, even in WrestleMania. But I feel like what DJ 47 said will happen as Rollins will accidentally hit Punk, and that will cost Punk the match and allow Drew to win. I feel like with the way this feud's gone, and for how many times Drew's been
Yeah,
screwed over by Punk, I feel like Drew needs to win the first match.
yeah. This is
Mm.
Undertaker versus Bret Hart with Shawn Michaels special guest referee. This is exactly what
Which
this
I was
is.
there for. That shit was crazy
Yeah, that's
watching
what.
that
Yeah,
live, especially that chair shot at the end, and then Brett fucking wins. I had never been so mad at a wrestling show in my life.
You're mad that Bret Hart won?
He was doing the anti-America character at the time. Yeah, I hated him during that period.
Uh, uh,
I mean, I appreciate it a lot more now for obvious reasons, but '97, Kurt, yeah, did not like Bret Hart at all.
hey, you don't have to explain yourself. Your opinion is your opinion. You don't have to justify your answers.
Yeah, but you live, you learn. But yeah, this feud has been great. Adding Rollins as the guest referee is the icing on the cake. I cannot fucking wait for this match, but I do think Drew ends up picking up the win. I think it's going down that way.
Well, let me tell you how good this feud has been. My girl can't stand wrestling, but throw a fit whenever I try to even put for 2 minutes. But she's into this feud.
That's what's up.
That's how good this feud is.
My ex, like back when I was dating my ex in 2014, we watched actually SummerSlam together that year. She was really into the Brie Bella and Stephanie McMahon storyline, but she was upset when Brock Lesnar like beat John Cena the way he did, like how it was pretty much a squash. Yeah, she fucking did not like the way that show ended at all.
So who we got? I got Drew to win.
I got Drew winning too.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Drew wins though, but I still have Punk winning because the reason why is because the whole bracelet thing with
Oh
with
yeah,
Punk's
that's
wife
right.
and dog's name
That's
on it.
right.
I think that really that's the reason why that I'm like, okay, I'm picking Punk to win. If it wasn't for that, then I would have like, okay, I definitely would have picked Drew. But it's because of that, right? That small little thing like that, which is really like a big thing. What is like the whole like motivator? That's why I'm picking
So
Punk to
you
win.
say CM Punk wins and retrieves the bracelet back?
Yes, I think he does that. They have another match at Bash of Berlin where Drew this time wins, and then they'll have their third and final encounter at Bad Blood this time in Hell in a Cell. It will be a trilogy of
Well, I
matches, pretty
hope so
much.
because this can't be a one-off match.
No, no, hell no, 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 no. It is way too personal just to
Yeah.
have just to have one match. No, cannot do
Did you
that.
do you watch
Of everything that they've been doing to each other.
do you watch the press conference after the shows?
Some I'll watch like clips of it when I have the chance to. But yeah, I've
They
some
had one CM Punk. They asked him this the question like, "Oh, when you guys go on a one-on-one match, should it be like a straight to Hell in Cell match?" And he goes, leave the booking to professionals. Don't these. He was like kind of clowning on him like this is some stupid ass booking and shit. I forget what the word that he used. He was like the fantasy booking. He said, "Leave the like those are fantasy booking. Thank God you're not a booker and all." So for the first match to be a blow off match and shit.
yeah, you
But
can't
the
have
other
those
thing
kind of matches.
is,
Though.
the only how I can see CM Punk winning is this is his first match. You know, I'm not talking about live event matches. I'm talking about his first official TV match. Does he lose that? But but at the same time, one thing I gotta
Right.
give it to Punk. Punk is another student of the game where he knows that winning and losing doesn't really matter if the storytelling is well done.
Yeah, and the story's been great. This has been the best story the whole year, and we're just now getting the first match.
Crazy, crazy how that is.
Yep.
Right, and it's like I said, I'm this is feud of the year already. Like, and again, when you have wrestling feuds where the title is not your focal point, that those are your best feuds. Like, not everything has to be about a championship. Like when this become outside of championship, that they get
I know
very,
John's
very
gonna jump
personal.
for joy if CM Punk ends up winning. I know he's gonna be as excited, if not more excited, than he was when Drew McIntyre lost the title at WrestleMania. Yo, you were fucking a
Oh
kid
my
in a candy
god,
store.
dude! I was justice because I'm telling you to do all that crap that Drew was saying prior to Mania, and he was kind of like talking more about Punk more than the own title match. And I was like, he wins the title, and I was like, okay. And then you just rubbed in Punk's face, and his fault for waiting there, and that's
But
karma. So and again, I loved it. It was just, oh my god! And it's funny that what kicked off night two, and I already said to myself, this
yeah,
is
I
gonna
think
be a
night
Yeah, it
two
was
was
out.
trilogy.
better than one.
Already, I was like, and I was right. It was
And I tell you
man.
this, I think Drew McIntyre's storyline period has been great of him getting screwed after screwed after screwed from the bloodline and so on, and to keep the story going. It's like a running joke, but he's another one like Liv Morgan has been doing his best work. Like, damn, dude, I didn't know you can cut promos the way you cut promos and all. Like, Drew has been on top of his game as well.
And you know what? If I'm being quite honest, I think this is kind of like a little bit of like redemption from 4 years ago. I know that he's not a champion, but I felt bad for him when he was champion during the pandemic time because he was the champion, but he wasn't, performing in front of, in front of the real crowds, and I felt bad for him. And I think, you look where he's at now. This is like a little bit better than the
Yeah,
position
and
he
I
Oh,
was
see him
in.
definitely.
champion one day. I see him still becoming a champion one day. He's been proven that he's even better than ever and shit. You
Yeah.
know, He has the look, he has the body, no homo,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he has everything what it takes to be great.
And especially with the promos this year, he's been knocking it out of the park. It's so funny.
Yeah.
There's been such a history of like classic guest referee spots at SummerSlam over the years, and this one's definitely going to go down in the history books with those. I think of like Shawn Michaels in '97. I also think of Jesse Ventura in '99, and even Jesse Ventura in
Triple H.
'88. Yeah, Triple H 2013 goes without saying. Yeah, that shit was nuts. And yeah, this one's definitely going to be added into that mix. Ooh, this is definitely going to
Yeah,
go
I
down in
agree. I
SummerSlam
agree.
history. This match.
I agree.
I definitely agree.
Speaking
I
of which,
agree.
it was cool to see Jesse Ventura was backstage at Raw Monday.
Yeah. He's like, finally the Vince McMahon is gone.
Yeah, they were in Minnesota.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
Yeah,
past
St.
month,
Paul,
so
Minnesota. Yeah, and since Vince
yeah,
is out of the picture, he was cool with coming
yeah.
back. He might even sign a Legends deal from what I'm hearing.
That's funny. Wow.
He's like the closest clear. Like fuck that.
Whenever I meet Jesse Ventura, I gotta spit in my diss to Hulk Hogan. I'm sure he'll love it. Yeah, but let's move on to our main event of SummerSlam 2024 for the WWE Championship. We have Cody Rhodes defending against the new tribal chief, the leader of the brand new bloodline, Solo Sikoa.
I think we all know who's winning that match.
No, it's gonna. Yeah.
Cody retains.
I all I say is, if that's the last match on the card, something is happening. Because we
And
all
we
know
all
Cody's
know.
gonna win. We know I don't know, Roman might show back up, something, but something's going to happen if that's the last match.
I think it's happening, bro. I feel like it's been building to that point for months. The people that are already chanting, we want Roman. There's no bloodline's been on a tear ever since WrestleMania. And considering that it's more than likely going to go on last, I feel like he definitely shows up. There's no way he does not show up. It's all points are
And
leading to
Solo
that happening.
and Solo finally mentioned his name last Friday, saying even if Roman wants to get it, he can get it too. Like why would he call Roman out like that? Why? Things that make you say, oh.
This is going to be one of the biggest returns in SummerSlam history.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
I was at
Well,
one
two of them
a
happened that
couple
night,
years ago.
actually.
Just
Yeah.
like how you
Oh,
said
yeah,
Drew
yeah, yeah,
McIntyre didn't have his moment during the 2020 pandemic. Roman didn't have his moment when he made his return in the 2020 at SummerSlam. So he might get
No,
his
we
pop this
didn't.
time.
No, we didn't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he'll get it this weekend.
Yeah.
You think it's too soon to bring it back?
No, it's been enough time. It's been gone for 4 months. I feel like it's time.
Or you think they should bring it back just right in time before War Games, Survivor Series,
I feel like
mystery partner that we all know who's going to be.
yeah, I feel like now is the right time with how it's been building and how they've been on a tear, and considering that they like beat the shit out of Paul Heyman a month ago. Yeah, I feel like it's some time for him to come back. But the only thing I'm a little concerned about that a lot of people are saying is that when Roman does come back, he's going to be bigger without the belt than Cody is with the belt.
Ooh, man. I've been hearing a lot of 50-50 things, man, because people have been kind of like crapping on Cody's title reign a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, we miss Roman," and and all. I'm like, "Oh my god!"
All fairness to Cody, Roman killed it for the last 3 whatever plus years. I think Cody's doing a good job. I was skeptical in the beginning, but when Cody's fired up, I think he's doing a good job at it. To me, again, every champion is like, so on, so on. But when he got his game face on, I see the leadership in him.
Same.
Roman took the title to another level. Come on, how many people can do what Roman did for the last couple of years in the modern day era? Yeah, then put it this way, Roman, that's not his first title. He won a couple of them before that, and people didn't care. So, all due respect. Hey, I love Roman. I love everything he did. I'm not even knocking him. I'm just saying, people who's knocking Cody is not really seeing what's really going on and all. And Cody's doing the best that he possibly can and all. And I think he's doing a good job. My opinion.
Yeah, he's had consistently great matches. The only thing is, I just don't think he's like had really solid feuds up until recently, like when he started this bloodline thing again. But overall, I feel like his title reign has been solid.
Well, I think also think about this. It plays into the factor that after WrestleMania, every other pay-per-view was in a different country that started at time at 12, 1, or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So these are throwaway matches at the end of the day. Cody, no one's losing the world title. Roman wasn't going to lose it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Cody's not losing it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So they have to give you a match like with him against AJ when you know he's not going to lose to AJ Styles, but you get a good match
Exactly.
out of those two and all. You know, the 6-man title because they were building up to something. And again, like I said, I don't know if it's true or not, but the rumor was it was supposed to be Cody and The Rock at SummerSlam. So then if that's the truth and he got injured, they had to go another way. Solo's not ready to be in that position, but what can he do? Who else on SmackDown besides Randy Orton he can feud with?
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that this Cody and
Go ahead.
Solo match doesn't really like feel like a SummerSlam main event. It kind of feels like a SmackDown main event or like maybe a BPLE main event. It doesn't really feel like the main event of the second biggest show of the year. But it is what it is. It's what we're getting. It's, I guess, for SmackDown the biggest match they can do right now. But just to
Well,
have Roman come back at the end, I feel like it'll make it all worth it.
well, guys, say that, oh, what they're doing, because putting Solo in that position could be right or wrong, but guys, the reason why they're doing this, so this storyline between Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa, so to extend to another storyline for a later Bloodline Civil War matchup when Roman comes back.
Yeah,
That's the
War
whole
Games.
point.
They're setting up for
That's the
War
whole
Games.
point.
Yeah.
Right. So what they're doing is like the right thing as far as like storyline wise.
Definitely,
So
definitely. I definitely agree with that. The match is not a big push. It's not a ticket seller, but it's for storyline for future for what they're doing. Absolutely, I
yes,
completely agree
Yeah.
with you.
yes,
Yeah, it's
I'm all
serving
for
its
that.
purpose, and we all know Cody's gonna win anyway. But regardless of whether or not it's like a big marquee main event for SummerSlam, the card we have overall, there's no reason to complain. We're gonna get a great show Saturday. I don't see it
Yeah,
being anything
and I
less.
agree. I agree.
Yes,
We Yeah, like we know that a big match because we had the Drew and CM Punk to steal the show. All
And
fairness,
Rhea
that should be
lives.
the main event. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I'm saying that, like you said, I still think that has a chance to be in the main event. If it's not, we're gonna have a big surprise at the end of SummerSlam because CM Punk and Drew McIntyre should be the main event.
Yeah, but I think definitely Cody and Solo will probably go on last, and then Roman will show up at the end. I don't know in what capacity, whether or not he'll like help Cody retain, or he'll just show up after the match. But regardless, I think Roman comes back and Cody retains, and that's how SummerSlam 24 ends, and it's a wrap.
I agree.
Or wishful thinking, Roman doesn't show up just yet, but we get Brock Lesnar to show up because of Paul Heyman. I'm just saying. Is that wishful thinking? Is that just too much
I'd
for
rather
me
have
to say?
I'd rather have Roman come back personally. I
I think
personally
it's
would
a
have
little bit.
rather have
I'd
Roman
rather
back.
have, yeah, because Brock, yeah, because
Well,
Cody and Brock already had their thing already.
no. Cody, no, he's coming back to save Cody because they destroy. Yeah,
Oh, right.
The bloodline destroys Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has a mutual respect with Brock Lesnar. Remember their storyline with the Roman. They was always saying who's negotiating Brock Lesnar's deal, and they're still saying that Paul Heyman was doing that. So he comes in, and him and Cody tag to go up against the bloodline, whatever the case, blah blah blah. Then you bring Roman back closer to the Survivor Series for War Games. Then you bring that whole you bring. I think you bring Jimmy Uso first before you bring Roman Reigns first. And then they start building. Then you get Roman Reigns, but you know Roman's coming. But Jimmy, where's Jimmy? I mean, they're gonna do whatever they want. They're better than me at this. But I think you bring Jimmy before you bring Roman.
Or
That's
maybe
just my
Jimmy and
opinion.
Jay together.
Yeah. Jimmy comes back and he gets his ass whooped again, blah blah blah, this and that, and then to the point where twins just gotta stick together, and that's how you bring those two in, and then they're fighting, they're still fighting against them, but they're still getting their ass whipped, and they're like, damn, we need to make that call, and everybody knows who that call is. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe even bring Brock now, and then somewhere down the line, Brock gets his ass whipped by the whole bloodline, was Paul Heyman's like, what the fuck? And then who can I call? Something like that. But if Roman comes back this weekend, I won't be disappointed. But I think you bring Jimmy first before you bring Roman.
I get that. I get it. But that is our card for SummerSlam this Saturday from Cleveland, Ohio. It's going to be popping. Probably one of the standout shows of the whole year. And this card this year is reminding me of why it's one of my favorite shows of the year. I don't see it disappointing even a little bit, bro.
Yeah, me either.
And like CM Punk said on First Take, it could be potentially be better than WrestleMania
Yes,
this year.
but
Could
two
be.
people who will not be on SummerSlam this year are Bobby Lashley and MVP. We talked about it last week on the show that they're more than likely leaving WWE once their contracts are up, which is very soon. But MVP did make an appearance in an MMA show over the weekend and even confirmed the fact that he will be leaving WWE.
To me, the shock about it is WWE and UFC is basically together. So by him coming in and making a challenge, it sounds like more of a WWE strategy than an AEW strategy.
It could be. I was also hearing that Lashley wants to test out like the free agent market, and they're not like going to pay him as much as he was getting before. So yeah, that's why he's kind of looking like he's gonna leave. But it's just a damn shame, bro, because this dude was WWE champion like 3 years ago. He was on top of the world. And yeah, for whatever reason, he kind of like fell down the card over the last like year and a half, I would say, to the point where he wasn't even on WrestleMania last year with the whole Bray Wyatt stuff.
Yeah, that was so
Yeah, I don't understand
stupid.
why they didn't.
Not putting Bobby Lashley.
I don't understand why they didn't just have like his feud with Lesnar just get blown off there, but whatever, it is what it is. And then they had that stable with him and the Street Profits that they didn't really do
Yeah.
much with. It looked like they were going to be bad guys, but then they were getting cheered, so they turned good again, but they didn't really have much going on. And yeah, the last time I think I saw Lashley was on the SmackDown after WrestleMania.
I hope,
Mm.
honestly, for selfish reason, I hope they don't leave. Just put the Hurt business back together. If you don't, I mean, you have the Hurt business with Street Profits. It was a good stable. Just again another people who couldn't showcase that during the pandemic because it was hot, but it was during the pandemic.
Got split
I think
away again
MVP
soon.
confirmed that like he wanted to relaunch the Hurt business with Triple H in charge, but Triple H didn't want to do it. And that's kind of like where all this whole talk recently has been coming out about WWE being racist and Triple H being racist, and also pointing out the fact that there's no black people on the card for SummerSlam this year. So yeah, that's kind of like where a lot of that mess has been coming from.
I don't know about races with Triple H and shit. He did. I remember I was wrestling. He did make some sarcastic remarks and all, but I mean, wasn't Triple H part of the whole Bobby Lashley winning the title?
I don't know if he was. I don't know if he pushed for it because Vince was in charge when Bobby Lashley was champion.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, Vince was still in charge. Ever since Triple H took over, Bobby Lashley's like not really been as dominant. He was like the U.S. champion maybe a time or two, but overall he hasn't really been on the same level. I don't know what the deal is with that, but it's just what I've noticed.
I don't know. They also said Vince McMahon was racist for years. That's why you didn't have no black champion for years and all. I don't know. You also got The Rock that's part of the company, and he's been pushing a lot of his ideas through and all. So, I'm not gonna play the race card and like that because I would also say this, just like I said earlier. There's so many stars that WWE has right now that again you got someone like Bobby Lashley who's been, you know, put somewhere in the card, like try to put the his own version of her business together. But also remember this: I'm a huge fan of Bobby Lashley, but sucks as a promo. He is no good at the promo. I don't know why MVP is not there. It's skeptical. I don't know because he was a good promo and he needed that. Bobby, just like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar sucks as a promo. So what they do, they give you Paul Heyman. That could also be part of it, you know.
Yeah, they could have definitely done a lot more with him than they did these last few years, but I'm not sure why it didn't work out. But nothing we can do about it. It looks like they're ready to move on. So I think it's best if they do. If they want
And
more money or to be happier, it's best if they do just do that.
and also Bobby Lashley is almost 50 years old too. Even though I hate that whole age situation because I'm pretty old my damn self, but he is older than majority of the wrestlers there.
Yeah, and maybe from TKO's perspective, the fact that he is older and whatnot, maybe he's not as much of a long term investment compared to somebody who's younger.
Yeah, he still has a placement in the card, but not what other there's other upcoming. He won the title twice. He did his thing. He was a great champion to me. Out of all the black
I thought he did well with it. Yeah, he did.
yeah, I think out of all the black wrestlers who became champion, it's The Rock and him who done a good job. I guess Booker T with the World Heavy title, you could say that, but I mean, Kofi didn't really do much, even though I'm happy he won it. He should have won it a long time ago. Big E, I don't know why they made him champion. I like him, but I didn't see him as a championship material.
And Mark Henry did okay. Mark Henry did okay for the little time he was
Oh yeah, yeah. I
champion.
was I was happy.
But
I was
I would
happy
say
he
out of
won. I was happy he won the title.
out of any black champion in the company period, the most successful was definitely Bianca Belair, the reign from 2 years ago.
Oh, you're not giving Rock his props because he's only half black.
Yep. So much
No, The
credit
Rock
to.
definitely gets his props too, but I'm saying as far as the one that's been the most successful, like the number one title reign for any black wrestler in the company period, it was by far Bianca's from 2 years ago.
What about Sasha Banks?
Sasha Banks' title reigns never really lasted that long in WWE. The longest title reign she had on the main roster was that SmackDown title reign that led into the match with Bianca at WrestleMania that
Oh,
one year.
okay. You
That
talking
was a
about
good reign, but it didn't match the reign that Bianca had.
okay? You talking about long term reign? Okay, I feel you.
Long term consistency, all that good stuff, yeah. And even the Rock's longest title reign was 4 months. The title reign he had in 2000.
I mean, in all fairness, The Rock's career in WWE was only 5 years.
Yeah, for like as hot as he was, yeah, he wasn't really around for like as long as like Hogan was or Cena was, etc. But congratulations to Kurt Angle. I wanted to point this out. Today is actually the 28-year anniversary of when he officially won the gold medal. Yep.
Crazy.
Right here in Atlanta, too. Right here in my neck of the woods.
That's a huge accomplishment. No matter what sport you're doing in the Olympics, when you win a gold medal, no matter what country you're for, you win a gold medal. That is a huge deal,
Very
a huge
huge.
accomplishment.
And he did it with a
Yeah.
broken freaking neck.
Too bad we never got the Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle
Yep.
match.
There's a lot of matches we did not get that we should have gotten, and I'm going to get into that category in our SummerSlam favorite moments in a few minutes. But yeah, great moment for Angle. Yeah, the fact that he did it with like the condition his neck was in is a huge accomplishment in itself. And yeah, I remember that Atlanta Olympics very well back in '96. And yeah, I'm glad that he got to shine on that stage because yeah, it was just a sign of things to come. And more power to him for getting that shit done.
Great. And I look at that picture when he won.
Genuinely
It's like,
happy.
man, that
Yeah,
was so
genuinely
good.
happy.
Just yeah, very
Yeah,
genuine
good
happy.
times.
Yeah.
But speaking of good times, let's get into some of our favorite memorable SummerSlam moments. This is what I've been looking forward to for this whole week to talk about in this show. And I'm going to get into our first category right now. Guys, what is your favorite shocking what the fuck SummerSlam moment?
Huh. Paul Bearer turned on Undertaker at SummerSlam '96
Interesting.
because they've been together like for so many years. You know what I mean? Like Undertaker and Paul Bearer, they're like a match made in heaven. You know what I mean? And I get it. Undertaker was struggling in the feud against Mankind, where it was like one sided, but like man, like and just how the way that it happened, it was sad because like Undertaker was begging for Paul Bearer for the urn and all that, just begging for his attention, and out of nowhere, Paul Bearer hits Undertaker with the urn. That was like that was shocking, but it's like you never would think these two will be separated from each other, and it happened.
It's really challenging. I had one, then I'm like maybe this one or how about that one? But it's I'll probably go. I mean, I'll give you two. The Triple H turning on Daniel Bryan when he was a special guest referee that leads Randy Orton to cash in the Money in the Bank to win.
Oh, oh my
I would
God,
also
yeah.
give just
Ooh.
because no one known. Cause I would say this one because it was a shocker, but no, I don't think anyone would ever bring it up. So I'll bring it up. Nikki Bella turning on Brie to let Stephanie win the match at SummerSlam. Yeah, see, no one would
Hmm.
really bring that up, but it
Hmm.
was a little shocker. It
Interesting.
was a good feud. It was a good ending and all. No one, it's not gonna be in no one's top 10 list and all, but I thought that it was, pretty shocking.
Yeah, it did what it needed to do. I'll say, as far as my like most shocking SummerSlam moment, I'll go with Shawn hitting Undertaker with the chair by mistake in SummerSlam '97, costing him the title.
If I had just two other honorable mentions, it's that one, and then I'll put like you were saying, Triple H turned on Daniel Bryan was like, oh my God. But then, I think as far like a whole match, like outcome, I'll put Orton defeating Benoit. Like
Ooh,
I did
that's another
not
good
see
one.
that
That's
coming.
another
I was
good
just
one.
like, I said to myself, and it was kind of similar to Eddie Guerrero and Brock Lesnar, where I was like, this is just a one off. There's no way, this is going to happen. You know what I mean? And then I found out the next, like, what happened? Like, Orton beat
Hmm.
Benoit? What?
Yeah, there's some
Dude.
category.
That's a good one.
And I don't care what anybody says about his title reign and all that. I don't want to stay too long, but that you can't take
Hell
that moment
no.
away
Hell
from him.
no.
You can't.
That
Oh,
was I agree. That's definitely a good one. I'm with you on that
Yeah,
one.
this category kind of went into a different direction. I was kind of like trying to lean more towards like what the fuck moments, like like what the fuck like spots. Let's say there's Brett superplex to Owen from the top of the cage at SummerSlam '94, or when Bubba Ray went through the tables off of the ladders at SummerSlam 2000. That was kind of more of what I was kind of like aiming this category towards, but it's all good.
Yeah, I got to do my research for that. Like you showed me the
oh,
list. I
okay.
said, great. I love how organized you guys are. But then that's taking a lot of research to do it and
All
all.
right, but I would pick for that moment though.
I haven't been
But
home
as
yet
far
today.
as like those moments, the one that I'll pick definitely is Shane McMahon's fall from SummerSlam 2000. Oh my God. I remember just seeing the picture of that from
Oh,
the.
what for Steve
Yeah.
Blackman?
I didn't see
Hmm.
it live. I remember the first time I saw it was just a picture in WWE Magazine, and I could not believe that he fell from that height. I'm like, bro, this shit really fucking happened? My God.
Yeah. I agree. That was a. I still,
A
yeah,
long
yeah.
way
I
down,
haven't seen it in a
son.
while, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, like tell me the magic trick of that.
Crash pads. That's what the magic is. Crash pads.
Yeah,
But even with crash pads, that's a long way to fall.
yeah. I mean, even though with crash pads, yeah. Because the thing about it is, as me as trained to be a wrestler and all, you have to know when you're about to hit because you're supposed to tuck your chin in so you don't hit your head. So that's a long fall to know when you're about to hit.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But yeah, I couldn't believe that he actually went that high up. And yeah, that's still a moment that I'll never forget. And it's kind of creepy considering that the Owen Hart thing kind of happened a year before that they would do that spot. But regardless, yeah, my jaw dropped the first time I saw that.
My jaw drops to this day seeing that.
Yeah, I always like seeing this meme on Facebook that says, "Don't fall for her, bro. She's toxic as hell." And then it shows like him falling for her, and it's a picture of Shane falling at that SummerSlam. Yeah, but classic moment regardless. But let's get into our next category. It's funny, Shane McMahon
God.
actually gave the prep talk to everybody involved in the TLC match that night about like being too safe and not being too dangerous. And look what the fuck he did.
Yeah.
But speaking of that TLC, let's get into our next category. There's been a lot of classic ladder matches at SummerSlam over the years, so I wanted to ask you guys what's your favorite SummerSlam ladder match?
Oh. Clearly, the TLC 2000.
The TLC match from SummerSlam 2000.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I would say close second is Triple H and Rock from '98.
What about Shawn Michael and
Mhm.
Razor?
From '95, yeah, that was good too. It was just too bad they were limited because they were told that they weren't allowed to use the ladder as a weapon, so they had to get like mad creative.
I know, but that's a good thing they were able to, put two minds together, and also you have your booking agent to, come up with something though. But that whole ordeal it was dumb. You're right.
Oh, Triple H designed that match actually, supposedly.
He did.
They were like up into the wee hours of the night trying to come up with ideas, and Triple H came up with the idea of the fact that they didn't say you guys can't jump off of the ladder, and that's why
That's
you saw a
true.
lot of those spots in the match. Yeah, but I liked how they brought in the second ladder for it, how they were both trying to climb up the ladders at the same time. And that one spot where Sean misses the splash from the top of the ladder and the razor's edge from the ladder. Yeah, they had a lot of good spots in it. I can't say I like it more than the WrestleMania 10 one, but it was still a good one regardless.
Of course, because majority of the time, nothing's as good as the first. The sequels are never as good as the original.
Are we talking about for wrestling, or are we talking about like in Hollywood too?
Just in
In
general, I
general.
think.
There are some sequels that are better.
There are some, but not
Yeah.
most. I mean, Godfather 2 was obviously the best out of the three, but.
Yes.
Terminator 2.
Dark Knight.
I don't think Too Fast, Too Furious was better than the first one.
I don't even like any
Yeah,
of
I
those
agree.
movies. I don't even like any of those movies.
Yeah, I wasn't a
I like
fan
Rush
either.
Hour 2 better than the first one.
I mean, they both got their qualities. I don't know which one I would go with for, but 2 was definitely good.
No, but another ladder match, actually, SummerSlam that was good, that had a weird stipulation, but it was still good. The Ray and Eddie one from '05.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. The custody for Dominic.
Okay. Now I know that.
Yeah. Wow.
Another great slept on one, the Jeff Hardy and CM Punk TLC from 2009. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, that match was incredible.
Oh,
Yeah.
when the
I
Undertaker
had
reappeared.
stopped.
Not even that, just that whole match, especially that swanton that Jeff did from the top of the ladder to the announce table. Yo, that shit was mad high up. Damn, that I love that match, son. That feud in that match, especially, yeah, that shit was a home run. Yeah, yeah, John. I know you weren't watching the show at the time, and I understand why. But that Hardy and Punk feud, especially that match, is like one of the few highlights of it.
Well, yeah, of that year, yeah, I agree. From what I've heard and saw clips of it, yeah, the feud was very good. So,
Well, when did you start watching wrestling?
who me?
Yeah.
I could say like '96, and then I stopped like around 2009. So after Backlash in 2009, I stopped, and then I got back into it in 2012.
Okay.
So did I.
And how about you, Kurt?
I started watching wrestling in the summer of '94, actually building to that SummerSlam with the Bret and Owen cage match. And I stopped watching after WrestleMania 22 in '06. And I didn't start like becoming a fan full time again until that WrestleMania in Miami, the '28 one, The Rock and Cena.
Yeah, it's crazy. We all watched at a certain part of time. Me, I started watching in '85. We all stopped at one point for a second, and mine was what 95, 96. When I started watching, it's just only reason why I stopped because we didn't have cable. We're too poor for cable, so we couldn't watch. But the hilarious thing about it is Kurt's mother's the one who got me back in it because she was like, "Oh, you haven't been watching, so you don't know who this girl is named China. You need to turn on the TV and watch this person named China." Your mom's is the one who put me back on game,
That's
and
so
and then
crazy.
and we
That's
got
so
cable back.
crazy. I remember I used to borrow
But
tapes from
yeah,
you all the time. I remember like the time you let me borrow the '92 Royal Rumble. I had never seen it before, and then I was sleeping at Carlene's house that weekend, and like that next morning, I woke up like at 7 a.m. and made sure I was the first one at the TV so I could watch that shit because I couldn't
all
find
I
it in
know,
any video store. I've been looking for it for years. I couldn't find it in any video store, and then when you finally had it, I said, "Finally, finally, I get to watch this shit."
yeah, I had everything. Um, yeah, I started watching again after the screw job in '97 at Survivor Series. I remember watching and thinking like, "Hey, where's Bret?" 'Cause Bret was my guy. I was like, "Where the hell's Bret Hart?" Nobody told me what happened.
Yeah, it's crazy how the fandom goes, how you fall in and out of it, but regardless, I wouldn't have it any other way. But let's get into our next category. What was your favorite title change at a SummerSlam? And that's any title.
Oof. I still would have to say with the Orton cashing in his Money in the Bank. I'm sure there's others, but I know that was a shocking one. I woke up people in my house because I had to watch it late night.
Damn. Yeah, that one was crazy. It was a great ending, though. As pissed off as you may have been, it was a great ending and a great angle.
I'm gonna have to go with Orton. Orton versus Benoit when Orton won the title.
Actually, me too. Yeah, that one also I gotta pick because I'll never forget finding out that Orton won the next day. I didn't get to watch it live, and I could not fucking believe it. That was the year of like many like shocking title changes, but that one
Yeah,
was like out of nowhere, like literally out of nowhere.
right.
That match had no
And
build,
that
no
RKO
story,
out of nowhere. Yeah,
and also the biggest part of it all, he won fair and square as a bad
yep,
guy. As like the most disgusting, despicable fuck bad guy he could be at the time, he beat Benoit for the title in the main event of SummerSlam, fair and square.
yep.
Man, one must have pissed somebody
No
off.
help with evolution. Just and let's not forget they shook hands after the match. I was like,
Oh
oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah, but
Yeah, that too. That
yeah,
shit too.
well, yeah, but you also got to remember because Randy was on the verge of becoming a face. That's why he won fair and square.
Yeah, because they tried to do the feud with Triple H afterwards, which ended up not working out. But
Well, if
on
you
this night, when
if
he ended up winning the title, it was a good look. It was a shock, but it was a good shock.
For an honorable mention on that category, I will put Bret Hart versus Mr.
Oh
Perfect in the main
yes.
event.
Also, another shocking title change at the very
yeah,
first
That
SummerSlam, the
too.
Ultimate Warrior over Honky Tonk Man. That shit was also like way out of nowhere, but just that whole crowd reaction when Ultimate Warrior comes out and he just like demolishes Honky Tonk Man in 30 seconds. Yo, that shit was nuts. That was the first real SummerSlam moment, really.
Yeah.
And also another one I'll mention: Bret winning the title in '97 from Undertaker. That moment at that end was fucking shocking, upsetting at the time, but damn good. Damn good. One of the best endings to a SummerSlam they could have ever done.
yeah, that was a good one. I have to rewatch it because that was the time that I still wasn't watching wrestling, which I'm mad because I would have loved to seen those moments live.
I
Would
was
have
there
loved
in
to have
person,
seen
man.
those
I was
moments
there. That was
live.
the one SummerSlam
I
I got
just
to go to. Was that one?
yeah, just like the screw job, I didn't get to see it live, but I damn sure hear about it every single year for the last 30 years.
Almost, yeah. All right, so let's move on to our next category. What's your favorite rematch from WrestleMania at SummerSlam from the same year?
Brennan Owen.
Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar from 2003.
Really? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Really? It's an interesting
Mhm.
pick.
Wow. They have classic matches. They have classic matches.
And may I remind you, Kurt was pretty hurt going into that match, and they still produced. So
Yeah, damn, Kurt was hurt that whole year.
Yep, even at
yeah,
WrestleMania.
Even worse at WrestleMania. Hell, his sister died the day before the Iron Man match with Brock that year, and he was like fucked up on pills like before he went out for the match too.
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I seen that with a documentary somewhere.
Yeah, but that SummerSlam match was good. That match they had at '03 was good. That's the only good part of that show, really. I would say for me, it's between Brett and Owen from '94 and the Dudleys, Hardys, Edge and Christian from 2000.
Oh
Those are
yeah,
my two
yeah.
okay,
picks.
okay.
Someone did their homework.
Also, a very good one that doesn't get talked about enough, a very underrated one, Rick Rude and Ultimate Warrior from '89.
Ah,
Yeah, WrestleMania 5 to the SummerSlam '89 and all when yeah he won the title back because Roddy Piper mooned Ric Flair, Rick Rude. That was a good SummerSlam.
Yeah, that match was fun. That was a great SummerSlam too. That match was mad fun, especially that ending when Piper came out. And it's funny, I think Rick Rude was on Regis and Kathy Lee that same day, and he like tried to chase like Kathy Lee all over the set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. Yeah, that was a good some WrestleMania rematch. Also, Roman and Brock from 2 years ago, the tractor trailer match.
oh, holy crap!
Oh
Yeah, that
yeah.
match was nuts. Also, and one more I'll mention before we move on: The Undertaker and Edge Hell in a Cell from 2008.
Oh yes, yeah, that one too. Yep.
Yeah, there's been a lot of them now that I think about it. There's been a whole lot of them, but those are probably the main ones. Also, one I watched a few days ago that we actually watched together: the Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins match from 2019.
Mm.
All right, but yeah, those are some of the classic ones. But yeah, I got to go with Brett Nolan and also the TLC from 2000 is my two picks. Okay, what was your favorite star making moment at a SummerSlam?
Was it Rod Stewart or whatever his name is from the Daily Show that screwed over John Cena
John Stewart.
against Rollins? Yeah.
John Stewart.
He became a wrestling superstar after that.
This may sound crazy, but wow.
I know my pick.
I had to say Brett in '91 as a singles competitor. That just him beating Mr. Perfect Madison Square Garden. That really showed you that okay, this guy singles competitor. He future wise, he's the real deal. He's your future.
I'm gonna pick that exact same one. That's definitely the match that
Yeah.
put Brett on the map as a singles. And he even said himself that that was the highest he needed to go. Like he never expected to become WWE champion. He always said as long as he could at least be Intercontinental champion, he was good. And when he finally got it on that night, you
Yeah.
knew that he was there to stay and that he was going to be in that mix for a long time. And that
Yeah.
match that they had,
Yep.
even with Perfect's back messed up, they still had one of the best matches in SummerSlam history. And yeah, he couldn't have made Brett a bigger star
Mhm.
than in that match. Yeah, that shit was incredible. And just as a
I
Brett
agree.
fan and as someone who's like been a fan of Brett since I first started watching wrestling, that's definitely like one of my favorite moments of his career. And for good reason.
Right. I I know this as an honorable mention. I know this sounds a little bit weird, but when I really think about it, it kind of makes sense. I will put um, Shane McMahon versus Tess from SummerSlam '99 because of what Shane was doing in that match, because of the stuff that he does now. Putting his body on the line and jumping from the top rope onto to the announce table, stuff like that. It was stuff like that why Shane McMahon was doing more of that. You know, later on in his little wrestling career. You know what I mean? But it was stuff like that. I saw that as like a star making moment for him.
I would say, since you mentioned Bret Hart, I would say Owen Hart when he wrestled Bret Hart in the cage match where no one thought Owen Hart was a main eventer. Even though he never went to the highest level, but he proved that he belonged.
Interesting. I feel like he was made more of a star in the match with Brett at WrestleMania, but I get what you're saying. Another honorable mention I'll pick, other than the Brett beating Mr. Perfect in '91, Brock beating The Rock in 2002.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I
Hmm.
think Kurt, you're cheating. I think you've done your research before you came on this show. You're beating us
And
up.
and props to John Cena. And props to John Cena. He was a part of two star making performances at SummerSlam before, and one match where he lost to Daniel Bryan, and also another match where he lost to AJ Styles. They can both credit their careers in WWE to John Cena at SummerSlam, both of them.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Especially that AJ one. That AJ one was insane. Like I was on the edge of my seat for that match, and I was like really thinking that he was gonna lose when he did that FU from the top rope. But then when he kicked out, I'm like, oh shit, he actually has a chance. And then when he won, I'm like, bro, oh no, he beat him fair and square. That's when I knew when he beat Cena in that match that he was gonna get the title.
Who's that?
AJ Styles,
Okay. Oh, I was at that WrestleMania. It was in New York.
SummerSlam, Brooklyn.
Yeah, I was there. Rock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. When they introduced the
Ugh.
Universal title.
Oh yeah, when Finn Balor got hurt.
Yep. I never saw a champ title ever again.
No, we did not. Also, another star-making performance that we got to mention. Also, Ultimate Warrior from '88 too. When he beat Honky Tonk Man, that was like really the beginning of the Ultimate Warrior push. But let's get into our next category. Which SummerSlam match had the best build?
Um, damn. A lot, damn. I mean, the Brock and Roman had a great build.
What from 2022?
The recent one, yeah, the one with the tracker you said. It was just building up for months and months. And I gotta look at the rest. I'm going on Peacock right now, searching SummerSlam and see. There's a lot of good builds because I don't want to sit there and say Stephanie and Brie again, but it was a good build. I was there when Stephanie got arrested and shit, and when they was in Miami.
One I gotta go with, one that definitely stands out to me, Austin and Undertaker from '98, the Highway to Hell.
Oh yeah, yeah. It wasn't the best match, but it was a good build.
That's a good one.
What else?
The best build for me was Shawn Michaels and Triple H from 2002.
That's a good
Oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah, that one's a close second.
And as for honorable mention, I will put John Cena versus Edge from 2006.
Interesting. Yeah, that was pretty good from what I remember of it. I know I wasn't really watching at the time, but
Because at that time, the feud between them got personal now because now, yeah, it was about the title, but like when you have Edge, going to John Cena's home and slaps his dad, I was like, oh, now this is personal. And the SummerSlam is in John Cena's hometown. Yeah, this is
I'm doing cheat codes. I'm going to the Peacock and look at all the SummerSlams. Hey, I mean, last year's SummerSlam was a good build. Jay versus Roman,
yeah.
that was a good build.
Cody versus Brock was a pretty good build as well.
Was it a good build? Do you think Cena versus Roman at Vegas SummerSlam?
That was a good. I was there actually.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay.
How much did you pay for your tickets?
I don't remember. I had pretty good seats.
I paid like $10 for like close-up seats.
yeah, I just moved from
Yeah.
Vegas right before that
If
SummerSlam.
you watch it, I'm all over there. You'll see me all over it. I was just saying, in my wrestling school, when I used to go there, he was like, "Hey, were you at SummerSlam?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was there." He goes, "Yeah, because we see you all over the TV and shit." That's how good my seats were.
Yo.
Paid $10 for them.
But yeah, there's been so many great builds for matches for SummerSlam. Another one that sticks out to me is the Hogan and Shawn one from '05.
Oh my god, I didn't forget about that one. That build was oh my
So
god.
good. So good.
Oh, that's one of my favorite SummerSlam events.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ooh. How could I forget
Oh,
this
The
one?
the, the Flock King.
Yeah, that match. The Who's Your Daddy Montreal promo
Yeah.
happened like through that storyline.
yeah.
Yeah, say what you want about the match, but the build getting to there was fucking fun.
Oh yeah. Definitely was. But it would have been nice to keep seeing heel Shawn Michaels, but he was only heel just for that match. Because Hogan rather
Yeah, it
heel
was fun
versus
while it
face match.
lasted.
Yeah, it was supposed to have 3 matches, but
Yeah, and Hogan got outshined in every way possible.
Oversold.
yeah,
Oh my
oversold is
god.
the correct word. Shawn Michaels should be a salesman.
Shawn was flopping like LeBron James.
That's funny. When I did see that match, I said that I'm like, this guy's over exaggerating, and never knew that he did it on purpose.
Neither did I. Also, a great build for a SummerSlam match. This one definitely stands out to me because I had just started watching around that time. Brett and Owen in '94. They put the pieces to that shit so perfectly, especially at King of the Ring when like Anvil's in Brett's corner and then helps like Brett retain the title, and then he comes out later to help Owen win the King of the Ring so that Owen could beat Brett for the title. Yeah, this shit was just done perfectly, man.
You know what's a classic match? Alexis Bliss versus Ronda Rousey.
Nah. But last
I know, I'm just messing with you.
But one last really good build to a SummerSlam match before we move on. The Rock, Triple H, and Angle three-way from 2000.
That was a crazy one.
Or should I say the Triple H Angle and Stephanie build for 2000? Because The Rock was pretty much the odd person out in that whole thing.
Third wheel.
Moving on to our next category. What was the worst outcome for a SummerSlam match to you guys?
Brock versus Orton.
Oh, shit, really? The Brock and Orton match from 2016?
Yeah, it was like, wait, it's done. We were there, like, what the fuck? That's it. And it was a one-off match. They never had no rematch, no nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I had to agree with that one. They built it up pretty good, but how the way it ended, and then the fact how you have no, you didn't build off of that. I was like, that was stupid. It was like a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one sucked, but there's some other ones I can think of that suck even more. And the one that I can think of that tops the list is Triple H beating Goldberg in the Elimination Chamber in 2003.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Well, I
So
mean, he didn't beat him.
trash.
He beat a
So
bunch of
trash.
people. It was
Goldberg was like finally gaining that spark that he had in WCW when he was like on a tear in that chamber match. And Triple H was already injured anyway, so I figured he was losing. And then after all that, Triple H just hits him with the sledgehammer and retains. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face. Wax sauce, son. Wax sauce. And another one I'll mention, Alberto Del Rio cashing in the Money in the Bank on CM Punk in 2011, officially putting an end to the
Oh yeah, that
Hey,
was
I
a
SummerSlam.
like
weird
that.
one.
That shit was whack.
Oh, that was weird. Oh god, that was so weird.
I liked it. That's me.
No, why?
Because it was like, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? What the hell's going on?
If they would have did that at like another event, then yeah.
Because
But
then the Diesel showed up out of nowhere
That
and all
sucked
that. I
too.
thought it
That
was cool.
also sucked.
and you know what made it worse? CM Punk and Diesel, or Kevin Nash or Diesel, whoever you want to call it, they never had a match with each other.
No, they did not.
They feuded, right? They were like turned into like a potential feud, right? But then they transitioned to, oh, it'll be CM Punk versus Triple H. And then to make it worse, you have Triple H win. Literally killed the whole CM Punk momentum he had during that summer. It made zero sense. You have Kevin Nash interfered. Why? Because he was told to do something, and then you didn't have a feud with CM Punk, and that whole it was so
It
weird.
was for nothing.
Completely killed the whole.
First, CM Punk
Yeah,
beat Cena in the match with Cena's foot on the rope, so like it's a controversial win. So he doesn't like really beat Cena the way he maybe should
yeah,
have. And then Kevin Nash just randomly attacks
yeah.
him, and Del Rio cashes in the briefcase. I'm like, yo, this shit is trash. Like, if they could not have killed him off any worse than that.
Oh, so bad.
Hey, I mean, I liked it, but I guess then again, I also liked the WrestleMania 17 finish when Vince McMahon and Stone Cold shook
Ugh.
hands.
I didn't
I
like
guess I'm
that.
really the one who liked that
Nah.
too.
And also one more I'll mention before we move on: the Becky and Bianca 26-second match from 2021. That shit was mad
Wish
whack
I
the night
was there.
when it happened. That shit was mad whack.
I tell you what, when I was looking forward to Sasha versus Bianca, and I was
Me
like,
too.
Sasha's not there, and I was like, what's going on? And then then she shows up, and then like, oh, like, and then for that match to go that short, I was like, I wish it would have gone a little bit longer, man. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it sucked the night it happened, but the way they paid it off at WrestleMania the next year was worth it. But the night it did happen, it still sucked. Yeah, that shit really put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, it was weird.
They probably were low on time.
I don't know. With everything else that happened later on that night, I don't know, man. They could at least like a few minutes. You know what I mean? A few
Yeah.
minutes wouldn't have hurt.
And also, Sasha and Bianca is one of those SummerSlam matches that I feel like we deserved and I wish we had gotten that we never got. I'll say that and the Brett and Hogan match from '93.
Yeah. It was confusing. Becky came back out of nowhere. We all popped for it and all, and it was done. But I mean, hey, guess what? They had a story to it. They wanted to turn Becky heel. You know.
Yeah, it all worked out in the end.
My thing is maybe Becky really wasn't ready to come back, and they were just like, okay, Just make it an easy match for her. That could also
Yeah,
be
it
it
could have been
too.
anything, but regardless, it still sucked the night it happened. All right, but let's move on to our next category. What's your favorite SummerSlam match? Period.
Oof. Ooh.
Man,
Oh man.
that's a lot of years to remember one favorite match. I'll tell you
Going
that.
all the way back to 1988.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know favorite match, but I know Brock and The Rock was a good match.
All right, I'll go first in this one. My favorite match from SummerSlam of all time, my number one favorite match, is Shawn Michaels and Triple H from 2002.
I was gonna say that too, though. Oh man. Oh, that was a damn good match.
Your
Oh my
favorite? So
god. Oh my
I
god.
have a top 20 list, but that one's my number one.
you tell me your favorite match was an Undertaker versus Undertaker?
Fuck out of my face. That's actually my. That's. I was, that was so bad. That was so bad.
And they made that the main event.
He's laughing his ass off. No,
Yeah.
that was by far the worst. That was by
Oh my
far the worst
god.
main event of SummerSlam history. That by far, there was nothing I can
Oh
even
god,
recollect
look, you really
worse.
gonna insult our intelligence like, oh, Ted DiBiase is the real Undertaker. Like, okay.
Ted DiBiase owns the real Undertaker.
Okay. And you really, oh, I'm gonna show money to this Undertaker. He's real. Like, okay.
Honestly, you know what main event at SummerSlam was also trash?
Well,
As much as I love this SummerSlam, you know which main event was also trash? The Hogan and Warrior against the Triad of Terror from 91.
no. I
god.
like that rest of SummerSlam. Maybe because it was close to home and all, but
No, I
maybe the
like that
match
SummerSlam
itself.
too, but that match was whack. That
Because
tag match sucked.
my thing was going to say my favorite match probably was Perfect versus Bret Hart.
From all SummerSlams?
Dude, this is over 30 SummerSlams. I'm just
I
thinking
know
that
I
was a classic. That's a classic match right there. Is it the all time? I don't
incredible.
know. I'm literally going through all the SummerSlams and looking at the pictures and say, oh, there you go. But that was
Another great one. How can we forget from the next year? Bret and Bulldog. That one's no less good.
Okay, I made my decision.
What is it?
Bret Hart versus Undertaker from '97.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one too. It's so funny. I always had that debate of who's Mr. SummerSlam between Bret Hart and Brock Lesnar. But it's kind of hard to argue against Bret when you look at his resume.
yeah,
Mm.
but by you saying that, I was gonna say that earlier. Let's see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can keep going on and on. 9. These. What I'm counting is how many times Brock Lesnar was on the poster of SummerSlam, and I'm at 9 right now.
And he's main evented like a bunch of them too. I think he holds the record for the most SummerSlam main events.
And I think, and Roman Reigns, is he the only one who main evented the most WrestleManias?
Yeah, he broke the record this year. But getting into Brock, I think the best Brock match at SummerSlam was probably the match with Punk in 2013.
I agree, and that's one of
Saying
my
a
favorite
lot. That's
matches.
saying a
If I
lot
had
too.
like a,
But
yeah,
he
if I
always
had like
said
a
that.
top,
He always says he likes working with smaller guys like a Daniel Bryan and a Rey Mysterio
Eddie
and
Guerrero.
AJ Styles. He always said that.
Another great Brock match from SummerSlam from a few years ago, the four-way with Roman, Strowman, and Samoa Joe from 2017.
I don't know, man. I'm not big on 4 ways. 3 ways, cool, but
That match
4 ways.
was nuts though. That match was nuts though. And Strowman really shined in it.
yeah.
Oh, is that when Brock busted him open for? Or that was at Royal Rumble for
Now this is when
WCW?
Strowman like power slammed him through both announce tables and flipped the other table over on him. It was only the real good part of that whole show, but damn was it good, son. Obviously, Triple H and Rock from '98. The ladder match was incredible. The Test and Shane Lover Lever match from '99 was fun. Orton and Christian from 2011. That no holds barred match. That match doesn't get talked about enough.
Oh, you know what doesn't get taught? I thought it was pretty good. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose in a lumberjack match.
Oh, from 2014. Yeah, that match was fun.
Yeah, They were really creative with the lumberjacks.
Best lumberjack match I've ever seen. And also another great one from a few years ago, the Cena and AJ Styles match from 2016. Fuck, man, I couldn't
Yeah.
believe what I was watching that whole time. All right, so John and I have Sean and Triple H from 2002. John, you have Brett and Undertaker from 97, and DJ 47, you have Brett and Perfect from 91.
Yes, I'll stick with that.
All right, fair enough. All right, so for our last category, what's your favorite SummerSlam show from start to finish?
2000.
SummerSlam 2000 is my second favorite SummerSlam.
That one, also the one whichever year was the Nikki, I mean the Brie versus Stephanie. I think every match on that card, that was
2014.
a good one.
2014. Yeah, that was a fun show. That was a fun ass show.
That's when Brock Lesnar versus Cena. Yeah. Oh, even 15. 15.
Um,
Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins takes on John Cena.
That one was cool too. Also, another classic one, 89. 89 is mad dope.
Oh yeah, I like both 88 and 89 to me, but also a selfish opinion because that was me first time really watching, and
Yeah, kind of me too during that era, but I really like the 89 one a lot, especially the Warrior and Rude match. Also, the main event, it was fun. Even if Zeus wasn't a traditional wrestler, I still thought the match delivered in the end.
what about the Warrior versus Rude the following year for the world title
Oh,
in a
90?
cage match?
Yeah. Honestly, 90 was just okay. The best part of 90 was the Hart Foundation and Demolition match.
12 3 falls.
Yeah, when the LOD came out and helped them win. 91 was a classic. 91 goes without saying with the wedding, with the Bread and Perfect match,
Mm-hmm.
Virgil winning the $1 million belt, all those skits with the Mountie spending the night in jail.
You know what's funny? 92. I never got to watch it till like decades later or whatever the case is because that was a year of
Yeah, you told me the story because of Hurricane Andrew, at the time.
yeah.
so Kurt, which one you said was your favorite?
I said SummerSlam 2000 was my second favorite, but my favorite, I would say the best show from start to finish of all time. I know this one gets picked a lot, but fuck it, I gotta pick it too. 2002.
That's the one with Shawn Michaels and Triple H,
Okay.
right?
And Rock and Brock, yeah, that's the one.
So both two. If I had a top three, both 2000 and 2002 hits that spot. But my number one favorite, the one that hits at home for me, the one that brings me back, my all-time favorite one is 2005.
Oh
I
shit. Oh shit.
I
Look at
love.
you.
That's the ladder
Uh,
match with Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero.
yes, that's that whole card. I loved it. That's Edge versus Matt Hardy, the rematch between Undertaker and Randy Orton, John Cena versus Chris Jericho, Batista versus JBL, of course, Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. That was just a damn good card. The business was really picking up a lot of mainstream attention during that summer. The build up to that whole event was just spot on perfect. I love the event. I went to my very first wrestling event the night after SummerSlam in Virginia when Jericho got fired. So that SummerSlam hits home for me. And I love the theme song too. So yeah.
That's the great thing about this
The remedy
business.
shit, yeah, remedy shit smack.
Everyone has their opinion, and shit, you might even shock the person, like, "Oh yeah, it's right," So
Yep. Brings me back.
Yeah, '05 was a fun one. It was definitely a show I got a lot out of. And it's funny, it's the second most bought SummerSlam of all time behind 98.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. That Hogan and Shawn feud was hot. And also considering the fact that Hogan had the reality show that dropped around that time, yeah, it sure was a recipe for success.
Yeah. Yep.
not until this SummerSlam, because according to Triple H, after every press conference, oh, this is the first. This is Alcell's Arena. It blew away sponsors. You ever watch the press conference?
Nah, I didn't watch the press conference. I didn't watch any press conference, but I did hear the
Okay.
pre-show is going to be 3 hours long.
Good Lord.
I'm not going to watch it, but I just heard it's going to be 3 hours long.
The press conference afterwards, and Triple H is always saying that always outsells everything. Um, the highest grossing arena sales, highest grossing views. Like he says that in every press conference, yo. I'm like, okay, guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But one good SummerSlam from a few years ago that stood out was the 2022 SummerSlam, the one that was like the first one where like he first took over. Yeah, that one was mad fun from the like those whole outdoor stadium setting. That opening match with Bianca and Becky, where they're like their feud finally like kind of went full circle, where Bianca finally beat her after that 1 year earlier of that 26-second match, and then they hugged at the end, and then Damage Control first debuted. Also, the Logan Paul and Miz match was fun. And that
Oh,
main event, that Roman and Brock match, I mean, we had like so many of their matches before that, like not really deliver. But then that one, like, finally did with the tractor trailer spot where he lifts the ring up. Yo, that definitely goes down as like all time SummerSlam moments in top five.
did you see the beginning of that when Brock Lesnar grabbed the mic and talked shit, and he
And
threw the
then Roman
mic to
caught
Roman?
it. And Roman
Yeah,
caught it. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
yeah.
And then they had to like flip the tables and the chairs and put everything on top of Brock to get him to stay down. And even Heyman took an F5 to the announce table. Yo, that match was nuts, bro. That match, that whole night was dope. That was a great SummerSlam, that 2022 one.
And I hope this Saturday, I hope it's one of the best ones. I really hope it has the potential. I really do.
Yeah, but 2002, that's a tough act to follow because that 2002 show was close to perfect. The only like real bad thing on that show really is the Undertaker and Test match,
Yeah.
which isn't even bad, but just compared to everything
2002.
else, it's not as strong. That opening match with Ray and Angle, like it's only 8 minutes, but fucking they make good use of every single last one of them.
Yeah.
The Edge and Eddie Guerrero match was solid. Like, although their matches would get better as the months went on, that match was still good. Also, the RVD and Benoit match was solid. And obviously, that Shawn and Triple H match, I can't even say enough things about. Just that whole story they told from start to finish. And that Shawn comeback, yo, that show was a thing of beauty, son. That was definitely one of my favorite memories of watching wrestling, period, was that, like, just that
Yes.
match and the story they told from beginning to end.
What about 2001 Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold?
Honestly, one of the best championship matches to end on a disqualification.
Mm.
People kind of sleep on that SummerSlam too because it took place during the invasion and all that. But honestly, it was the best show out of all those invasion pay-per-views they were doing back then.
I agree.
Yeah, that Austin and Angle match was wild. That match was wild. Like, even though it ended on a DQ, I still thought that match delivered.
Yep.
And then obviously the end of '02 with Brock winning the title from The Rock and becoming the youngest champion. And then The Rock pretty much turned heel afterwards when it went off the air, which I wish they'd actually showed. Yeah, and the way that SummerSlam was kind of the end of an era with like The Rock pretty much being done full time, and then like Brock being the main guy, and then like really moving into that SmackDown 6 era. Yeah, that SummerSlam was kind of the beginning of a new era in a sense. But damn, what a fucking show it was.
Woo.
So yeah, SummerSlam is this coming Saturday from Cleveland, Ohio. The card is stacked. It is going to be a night to remember, and it's one of those nights we live for as wrestling fans. I fucking love SummerSlam season.
Same here, man. And can't wait for Saturday. And I can't wait for it. I'm excited for it. I've never seen a card so much writing on each match, man. So this is crazy, and I can't wait.
Yes, sir. I'm always a fan of SummerSlam. I'm always a fan of WWE. You know, I'm here all the way through Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with Seth Rollins, special guest referee. I'm all in. Not the mistake of AEW all in, but I'm all in like WWE. You know what I mean? You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Know exactly what you mean, my dude. Exactly. Yes, but enjoy SummerSlam this Saturday. I really enjoy talking about these past SummerSlam moments. It's always a fun time doing those kind of things. And DJ47, thank you for joining us. It was great having you on. We'll look forward to having you on again in a future episode. But until next time, for John Randall and DJ47, this is Conscious Kurt with another edition of the Clash of the Champions. Take care. And remember, don't be an asshole or a douchebag in real life or social media because that toxic bullshit is for the birds. Happy SummerSlam week, y'all.
God bless. Take care, and always be cool.
Yes, sir.